Podcast. How Metaverse is Changing the Education Sector. After a series of informational podcasts on emerging technology, here is another conversation by Auxano Global Services. You can find here meaningful podcasts for emerging tech in various industries, app development, game development, and many more. If you wish to listen to earlier podcasts and follow up with regular updates of informational podcasts, then like, subscribe, and follow our channel. We have brought a thorough podcast explaining how Metaverse is changing the education sector. Listen to it for information about the latest trends in Metaverse and how it is shaping education. Here we will talk about the future of education and the extent to of teaching can reach because of the technology of Metaverse. Many people have found Metaverse a good alternative to physical meetings for a digital world. Education can be impacted to a great scope and teaching methods can find new creativity. Metaverse is still developing and creating its space in the technological industry. Many apps and websites are employing Metaverse for better user experience and more user interface. It is the emerging technology that has the capability to change the digital world. Through its virtual reality technology, Metaverse can create real-life digital space for students and teachers. This functionality can enhance the mode of communication for education. Here are 7 ways how Metaverse is changing the education sector. 1. Creating a beneficial learning environment. Metaverse can create virtual realities that help students learn most innovatively. Students can enter a whole virtual environment and experience a new type of learning. Subjects like history can be taught by developing an environment depicting past events. Science and its complicated experiments can be conducted in a safe environment with the help of virtual reality. Experience in many more subjects can be enhanced. Students generally feel lazy for studying because of its monochromatic pattern. Metaverse can break this pattern and make studying interesting. 2. Changing the perception of studying. As we talked about in the above-mentioned point, the Metaverse is capable of changing the learning environment. Students stretch themselves while learning because of the pattern. Studying can take a face of interesting games that students not only remember but understand. Students perceive the teaching programs in Metaverse as a game more than a subject. They interact more with the content and grasp it better. Gamification of education can be best done with Metaverse, and it's the fundamental impact that Metaverse technology will make. Subjects such as history, science, geography, literature, and many others that students found boring can be made interesting. 3. Interdisciplinary learning. Blending the teaching of one subject with another is a good option to make students understand. Each subject is linked to one another in some other form. These links can be utilized through creative methods of the Metaverse. Interdisciplinary learning not only helps in better understanding but also inclines more towards real-life practical learning. 4. Blending theory with practical explanation. Anything tough should have some real-life relevancy. Even students feel lazy to study certain topics because they can't relate. When they are able to resonate with the subjects taught and can observe their practical application, they become more involved in learning. Practical explanations help in creating the reasons for learning the subjects and their topics. Unlike textbooks and theory-based classes, when some theory is explained practically, students comprehend the why studying factor. With the technology of Metaverse, teachers can explain any topic easily with some real-life examples. 5. Surpassing the communication barriers. Several communication barriers such as geographical, linguistic, and physical acts in limiting the opportunities for desired education. Parents mostly choose schools based on their proximity and then quality is the second priority. However, with Metaverse, these barriers vanish to a great level. The education for some students can be provided at home and for linguistics, the technology can have multiple languages. Erasing these barriers will facilitate better and more comprehensive education. 6. Safer and controlled environment. With the advent of social media, bullying has increased and even students are getting mental health problems because of it. Now, with Metaverse, the teacher has complete control over what and how students interact with each other. This complete control gives room for a safe environment. Students can't bully each other and are more disciplined. 7. More inclination toward the digital world and lesser reading. After counting so many benefits in the impact, let's look at some possible downfalls because of the technology. Firstly, children will have interaction with the digital world even for studying, and they will obviously play games on the digital platforms. This much digital world interaction will detach them from the real world. Adding to it, reading is necessary for good mental development. Metaverse will eliminate the need to read the subjects. This might lead to poor intellectual ability. Although, it's the schools and teachers' responsibility to balance everything out. Conclusion. Metaverse is the trending technology that has the potential to change the face of digital platforms. Even education will have a great impact because of the metaverse. These impacts should be measured and implemented intelligently to have their positive effects. With the help of a well-balanced teaching module plan, the metaverse can be utilized in the best way for education. Auxano Global Services is the top bespoke app development company with expertise in virtual and augmented reality. The team is growing towards utilizing metaverse. For knowing more about the metaverse in different industries and its particular impact on education, kindly contact our experts and engage with them for more detailed information. Thank you for your time, and for listening to our podcast on how metaverse is going to impact education. We are happy to help with an informational podcast on metaverse for you. Subscribe and get a notification every time we make a useful podcast with helpful technical solutions. Stay tuned for upcoming podcasts.